welcome to what is hopefully becoming my first YouTube video. My name is Elliot. Thanks for stopping by. Let's just jump right into why I'm talking to my phone on my porch right now. So I've been making music for about 20 years, and I'm just wrapping up one sort of creative album cycle. I'm going to be hopefully getting that all published in the next year or so here. And I'm about to jump into a new creative music project. I hear my dog eating grass over there. Bella. Lost my train of thought. Okay, so let's talk about kind of the who, what, when, where, why of this whole project. So the who is obviously me. The what, I'm going to be trying to make an EP of music, so I'm thinking of that as like 18 to 22 minutes that just flows all together. And I'm going to create kind of a slice of life vlog as I am just working on that process. The where is just going to be here at my house. And then I think the two more interesting parts, as I look at my notes here, are the why and kind of the how. So let's talk about those. So the why part, I want to figure out if I like the YouTube thing or if it feels like a chore. And I want to find out if it's a good way to connect with other people out there doing similar things. And I feel like the best way to answer those questions is to just jump in and find out. So here we go. And I also feel like the YouTube space has an enormous amount of content around music theory, like playing technique, music gear, like that has been really thoroughly explored, but there feels like there's way less stuff that's actually about just making the music. So I'm going to try to focus mostly on that, because I don't know that I have anything that interesting to add to the chorus of shrieking seagulls about what overdrive pedal is best. I think everybody has an equally valid perspective on what stuff they prefer to use for making art, so I'm gonna kind of just stay out of that conversation for the most part. So I think then the how part is what most of the rest of this video is going to end up being dedicated to. I came up with a set of sort of 4 rules that are going to constrain the music that I'm writing and choices that I'm making here. So I was going to talk through those and then kind of just show what the progress is so far. So rule number 1, kind of already said it, but rule number 1 is create an EP of 18 to 22 minutes of music that flows nonstop back to front. I tend to be mostly an album and EP listener, and I listen to, I would say, probably mostly instrumental music. So I really like stuff that kind of flows in a little bit longer format, so I'm going to be going for something kind of like that. I'm going to build the songs all around. Sorry, I should intro. Rule number 2. I'm going to be trying to build all of the songs around a 4-track cassette drone that I'll have set up. So we'll go and check out those loops in a little bit. I actually already made those. That's kind of the only part of the work that I've done so far. So that's coming up. And then rule 3 is that I'm going to be writing for what I effectively think of as 3 players, or 3 copies of myself. So the intro should have given some idea of what that would look like. Basically, I'm allowed to have 3 copies of myself performing. I'm allowed to use loopers and stuff like that, but I find this is like a helpful constraint because I have to make each of the parts matter and add something to the music when I can't just add an infinite number of layers. And you kind of have to get a little bit more creative about arranging for a smaller group, or with, kind of how you fill out all the different parts of the texture. So That's rule number 3. And then rule number 4 is that I'm going to be creating all of my own sounds here at home with my own instruments. So like I said, I am going to be using some loopers. If I use a sampler or anything like that, it's going to be only with sounds that I've created on my own instruments and performed myself. I will definitely say there is some aspect of wanting to write music that could be performed live, although that's not really my goal right now. So that's definitely a little bit of a consideration in the back of my head. So yeah, those are kind of what I came up with for the rules. And next, I think we're gonna jump inside to the desk and look at the tape loops that I made so far. Cool. Okie doke, so we are inside at desk now. I've got all my different devices recording. I've got my brewski. And it's actually 2 days later, but I put the same sweatshirt back on for that sweet, sweet continuity. Anyway, we're here at the desk with the tape machine. Good old Tascam 244 that I bought at Eclipse Music in St. Paul. If you guys are in the Twin Cities, go to Eclipse Music. Say hey to John. He's the best. Yeah, and we're going to go through these 4 tape loops. I kind of have some notes, and then we'll wrap it up. So yeah, I'm going to play each of the drones, and then I'll kind of bring them all up together and show what the general aesthetic there is. So this first one that you're going to hear is the 4 oscillators on my matriarch in different octaves, just playing a note. And I do have the pitch control right here turned down. I recorded this all in F and then I tuned it down to E just because I think it makes it a little bit extra syrupy. So here is the first loop. So a lot of low frequency stuff going on in that one. That was kind of my first thing I laid down, of course. And then the second one here is the piano in my family room. I used a freeze pedal and I played a chord and kind of captured that, and then I think I fed it back through a phaser, I want to say. So this is like a little bit higher pitch kind of pad. Maybe it was a flanger, not a phaser. I feel like I'm hearing flanger a little bit more now. Cool. So the third loop then is, I wanted something, because I was feeling kind of a sci-fi vibe, so I wanted something that sounded kind of to me like the scanners on a spaceship or something. So this is my modular case. I think this is the Moog Mavis with the resonance turned up pretty high on the filter. I wanted like a weird kind of plinky plucky thing, so here's this one. I think I added in like one extra oscillator, just kind of droning a pitch in the background to give it a little more tonality. And then this fourth one here, I remember wanting another element that maybe had more movement to it. So this is the arpeggiator on the Moog Matriarch, running into some delay because I wanted to smear it a little bit so it didn't have too much of a distinct like time signature or feel to it, but have a little bit more like rhythmic motion. So here's that one. And then if you play some of them together, it starts to sound kind of like this. So I'll say partly where I came from with the inspiration to do this was a video I saw a couple years ago of Alessandro Cortini from 9 Inch Nails doing a similar thing where he had like different chords on a 4-track and he was kind of playing them. And then also recently I saw a KEXP video of the French band Slift, and they did a thing with a little modular setup where they would kind of like drone in between songs while they were doing guitar tuning and that kind of stuff. And so my thought was like, what if I kind of combine those two ideas and use this as sort of the connective tissue to go between some of the sort of like song ideas, and as a common thread. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how it works out. Thanks if you made it all the way through this video. Obviously figuring out what I'm doing still. So, yeah, hopefully part 2 contains some perhaps more interesting music and less of me talking. Thanks for checking it out, and maybe I'll see you there.